There are several tactics that we can employ to make sure that our arguing is constructive. One is to use argumentation with empathy. And this means understanding and really feeling what the other people who are involved in the argument are going through. What has led them to produce their perspective? What has led them to say the things that they're saying? And then also to consider the impact that our words might be having on them and to really feel what that might mean to have that said to us. Another thing to consider doing is to reaffirm everyone else's sense of competence. And this can be done on a number of levels. One, we can simply ask people for their point of view. That does a lot to say, hey, we welcome what you have to say, we think it's valuable. And then we can also reaffirm that sense of competence by saying, that was a great point. That is a really interesting thing that you said there. I think we can build off of that. A lot of encouragement to continue to add in ideas to address this argument. And then we also should think about allowing others to actually finish what they have to say. Now, sometimes we get into really heated moments and things are getting exciting and we start to cut each other off. And if you think about that in terms of the communication effect of cutting someone off before they've had a chance to say what they have to say fully, then what we're essentially doing is not affirming what they have to say and not affirming their competence. If we cut them off, then we're asserting that what we have to say is more important. So to be able just to let people say what they have to say fully before we respond. Another thing to look at is to emphasize equality. And this is actually done on several levels. It's done in how the argument is set up, who is allowed to speak and when, what the structure for the communication process is like, and then in the words themselves. Is this about emphasizing togetherness, or is it about emphasizing a certain person or certain people's sense of being above everyone else? So to emphasize equality, talking about we're all in this together. It's our problem, and if we work toward a solution, we're all going to benefit. And as a result, that kind of emphasis on equality is a reminder that what we're working through affects all of us, and the solution can also benefit all of us. And then it is also important to be able to emphasize shared attitudes. So many times when we're engaged in an argument, it's really easy to see the differences and the points of conflict. And it's also easy to forget what we have in common. And sometimes we just sort of take those for granted, but they are very valuable. And if we can use those as the foundation for agreeing on other points, then we've really turned those small points of agreement into something that's very big and very powerful in bringing people together.